I think it's time that someone talked about it. The series Legends of Tomorrow never really got the chance to be as popular as it should have been, and there are a lot of reasons for that. As excellent as the show was with its character development and storyline, it was hampered by the fact that it did not really bring up on its own. It was a spin-off of two slightly, sort of popular shows on a network lauded for teen dramas. Two shows called The Flash and Arrow, which were about superheroes from DC Comics. And yes, Marvel is bigger in that department, so maybe the odds were never in favor, but those other two shows definitely had a lot more going for them. Now, with Legends of Tomorrow, it was an original concept that featured DC characters at first. Now, I say at first because this is ultimately what caused there to not really be any popularity at all. You see, after the first couple of seasons, the show kind of dropped the DC element and decided to embrace an absurd level of meta humor and other types of comedy. And that wasn't for everyone who was expecting a DC superhero show. As such, the show somehow managed to carve itself into a little niche where most of the people watching were just wanted to see the continuing story of these characters and left because of the revolving door cast. There just was never really that big an audience for it, and the show's tiny fan base, well, local, ultimately couldn't prevent it from being gotten rid of during the CW restructuring a bit because the show wasn't bringing in people. It didn't really have an attached brand identity behind it or an attached comic book character to really back it up. It was understandable that Disney would find a sort of priority to drop it, even if we lost a major player in the field of diverse representation. The CW drops the show, and yet, while the writers were warm and they turned chicken and didn't give the series a proper ending, they probably should have because it just wasn't that popular, and so maybe if it had stuck more to its comic book origin, then maybe it could have stood a chance, but the truth is that a show that really embraced its comedy that it didn't exactly have at first, now it's more of a type of show to develop a niche audience and pivot away from what draws people in. So without people being drawn in, it's understood why they wouldn't want to pay for the set anymore, because it just doesn't really bring in the profit, and it's an unfortunate truth that while a show may be amazing in some ways, it'll never realize its true potential because it came from existing source material. I think that if Legends of Tomorrow had come into existence on its own, just as it embraced introducing original characters in later seasons, then it would have ended up as a popular show, and people would have loved its character development rather than criticizing it for diverging from its predecessors and not living up to comic books. So, that being said, the network's just, it really all comes down to a matter of profit, and the show really should have been more popular, and maybe it would have been renewed, maybe, or one final season. Maybe they could have given it a proper ending, but they didn't write one, and maybe they thought the show was more popular than it was. It's hard to say, but overall, it just really wasn't. And thanks for watching my video, guys. This is Jesse Min TV, and I just want to say that sometimes it's okay if something's not popular because you still enjoy it anyway, and that's what matters. So, yeah, just watch what you want, enjoy what you want, and remember, if something ends on a cliffhanger, you can write fanfiction to finish it out. I know I have, and I might have that in a future video, but thanks for watching. Bye.